Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here and welcome to DCS World 1.5 and Polychop Sim's Gazelle module. Today I'm going to go over the startup procedure for the Gazelle. It's fairly quick and simple actually, there's not much going on in this aircraft, the systems are nice and simple. Now the Gazelle, although it's still in beta, as I understand it, the systems modelling is basically done. The only thing that might be getting some updates would be the flight model and the way that the SAS is programmed. So this should remain pretty much the startup procedure, I think, even once the module leaves beta. So let's get started. We're here in Kutaisi on a nice, fairly calm day. If I take a look over at the windsock, we're showing a wind from the north. So I'm going to go through the standard startup. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on the battery switch. That gets all of our lights and other bits and bobs illuminated. I'm just going to hide my pilot body so I can see what I'm doing. Sorry. And I'm going to turn on the radio and tune the ATIS. I've got ATIS on 135 megahertz here. Oh, let's turn this up a bit.
Wind 360 at 3. Visibility more than 10 kilometers. Clouds
just listening out for the altimeter. You may recognize the voice on the ATIS.
At 4,800. Temperature 20. Dew point 17. Altimeter setting 1010.
Okay, let's set our altimeter. There we go. That's information echo. Okay, fair enough. Let's tune the radio back to 134, which is what the tower is on, and then we're going to turn the radio off for startup. Okay, so with the battery on, we're going to push and hold the test lights button, and we notice that all of those lights come on. And then on the caution and warning panel, we're going to test those lights, and they're all coming on as well. Okay, so now we turn on the alternator and the generator. We turn on the fuel pump and we start our timer. We're going to run the fuel pump for 20 seconds before starting the engine. And before engine start, I'm going to turn on the beacon. Just jump to the outside view, make sure that's flashing, which it is, just so that everybody knows to get out of our way. And I'm going to close the doors before engine start. That's us just coming up for, 20 seconds. So we now hit the starter. We're going to see the turbine RPM start to rise. You can hear that in the outside view. It's a very nice engine sound they have in this particular module. Okay, so that's going to stabilise probably around about 20%. I'm just going to disengage the rotor brake before I forget. And oh, actually, no, it goes beyond. It's 25. Okay, fair enough. As it passes 20, we can introduce just a little bit of fuel using the fuel flow lever here. And we should then see that the rotors are starting to turn. And the rotor RPM, which is the smaller needle on this display, is starting to climb. Now, what we want to do is we want to get the turbine RPM and the rotor RPM to be about the same. And we want to get them across the red line at about the same time. We want to very slowly increase the fuel flow. If you just jam the fuel flow lever full open on engine start, you will get a hot start and you will probably break the turbine. So let's just advance that a little bit more just now. We should find that the two are continuing to rise. We'll increase that a little bit more. There we go, it's stabilised just below the normal range, and now we should be able to go full, and it's going to stabilise inside the normal range. Both the rotor RPM and the turbine RPM should be within the white arc in between the two red marks. Okay, so that's engine start complete. We can now start up the rest of our system. So if we go top to bottom, we're going to turn on our navigational lights. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And turn on our gyro. We're going to push and hold on the artificial horizon, and that should stabilize. Okay, we're going to turn on the radar altimeter and set it for a sensible height. I'm going to go for 50 feet. There we go. And I'm also going to uncage the standby artificial horizon. I'm now going to turn on the pitot heat, the trim system, the magnetic brake, which is the other trim system on this aircraft. We're going to turn on the autopilot master switch and engage the 3 axes. We're going to switch our navigational system, the nadir, into terrain, or tear, sorry, mode. We're going to turn the radio back on. There we go. We're going to turn on the UHF and FM radios, and I'm going to jump over to the weapons officer's side so I can set up and tune the ADF. Here at Kutaisi, that should be 477 kilohertz. There we go. Turn off the tone, switch on ADF, and that's now going to drive the skinny pointer on the HSI. And once the nadir is finished aligning, the fat pointer will be pointing to my currently selected nadir waypoint. And we can now turn on the flare dispenser. I'm also going to extend the landing light and then turn it on, and I'm also going to turn on formation lights at full intensity for daytime use, and then turn on the radar warning receiver. And that's basically it. There we go, nadir is aligned, and the radar warning receiver should come on in just a moment. And I'm going to switch my navigational system to use the ADF just now, which is the mode labelled VHF. And there we go, radar warning receiver's on, and that's basically us. Those are all the basic systems that you would need for a standard flight, all powered up and ready to go. Just going to conduct a very quick check hover. I'm still not very good with this helicopter. Well, there we go, I've just about picked it up into a somewhat stable hover. That all seems fine. I will bring her back down. There we go, not the most gentle landing in the world, but we're back down. Okay, so that concludes the standard startup for the Gazelle. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.